Havana, ooh, na, na. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, na, na. He took me back to East Atlanta, na, na, na. Ah, but my heart is in Havana. There's something about his manners. Havana, ooh, na, na. He didn't walk up with a how you doing when he came in the room. He said there's a lot of girls I can do with, but I can't without. I knew him forever in a minute. That summer night in Papa says he got Milo in him. He got me feeling like ooh. I knew it when I met him. I loved him when I left him. Got me feeling like ooh. And then I had to tell him I had to go. Oh na 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 na, Havana, ooh na na. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh na na. He took me back to East Atlanta, na na na. Ah, but my heart is in Havana. My heart is in Havana, Havana, ooh na na.
Hey, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to play Havana by Camila Cabello. First thing we need to do is get our capo on the 3rd fret. So make sure you pop it on the 3rd fret, test out every string, and then retune your guitar, because whenever you put a capo on, it always puts your guitar a little bit out of tune. And the notes aren't going to be the same as when it's open. It's going to be G, C, F, B flat, D, and then G. Now this song is a 3-chord wonder. It's just the same 3 chords over and over again, so it's pretty beginner friendly. And if you find that you need any extra help with the chord shapes in this song, please check out our free ebook. It's free to all of our subscribers, and it goes over all the chords in this song and a bunch more stuff, pretty much all the basics of rhythm guitar. We also have one for lead, so check that out if you want any extra help, if you want to build a solid foundation. And we're going to start out by showing you the chord shapes. So our first chord is E minor. And in this case, I want to play it with these 2 fingers. And then our next chord is C. And I don't know if you noticed there, but I left my middle finger down when I switched from E minor to C. Now that's a really good tip that'll help you make that switch quicker and more efficiently. So just try that a few times. E minor, pivoting on that middle finger to a C chord. Just back and forth, just getting comfortable with it. And it also might help if you put your thumb lightly over the top of the neck, just so it mutes that low string. You're just lightly touching it. And that way, when you're strumming, you don't have to worry about accidentally getting that low note, which doesn't necessarily sound good with this chord. Then we're going to switch to a B7 chord. And switching from a C to B7 isn't as easy as E minor to C. There isn't a finger that we can leave down, but we can think of an order that we're going to move our fingers in, kind of like an order of operations. So back to our C chord. First thing we want to do is lightly lift our fingers up and then place our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. So that's the first step. We lift and then get that finger down. Then I'm going to skip a string, 2nd fret with my ring finger, skip a string, 2nd fret with my pinky, and then finally get my 1st finger down. So back to our C chord, we lift, then we think 2, skip, 2, skip, 2. So it's all on the 2nd fret with these 3 fingers, skipping a string each time, and then we finish it off by placing our 1st finger where it needs to go on the 1st fret of the D string. And we can try to mute that low string, but it's kind of tough. So you might have to lightly touch it with your middle finger. That's a bit tough, but for now, just try your best, because we definitely don't want that note in the bottom of our chord. If you can reach over with your thumb to mute it, great. If you can lightly touch it with the tip of that finger as it still presses that note, even better. And then when switching from B7 back to E minor, because we're going to want to repeat this chord progression a few times, we can take our middle finger, move it there, and then 1st finger. So try that a couple times too. Just going from B7 to E minor. So if you need more practice switching, we do have individual videos that just switch between two chords. We have one for E minor to B7, there's one for E minor to C, and you can just practice along. You know, it gets gradually harder as we go on. We give you lots of time to switch at the beginning of the video, and you get less and less time. That's all part of our ebook, so check the link down below in the description, and you'll be able to find all those videos for free on our website. Anyways, now we're going to take a look at the chords in order. We're going to count it out, just doing downstrokes only. The rhythm's really simple, but we're just going to focus on the chord switching. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So make sure you can do it just like that, downstrokes, counting along, doing the right number of strums on each chord and making nice clean chord switches. And when you're ready, we can move on to the strumming part, which goes like this. I'll do it a little bit slower now. 3 and 4 and. And you might notice that the strumming pattern goes over all the chords. So in a lot of songs, we would play the strumming pattern completely on one chord, then we switch chords and we play the whole strumming pattern again. But in this case, all the chords fit into one strumming pattern. So you just play that strumming pattern with all 3 chords over and over again, and that's the whole song. So let's break it down to make it a little bit easier. We start off, it's really simple, just on the E minor chord doing 2 downstrokes. It's so simple. 3, 4, 1, 2, and that's it. Like, that's not too bad. So the E minor part, that's pretty simple. Now let's add the C chord, and we're just gonna go down up on the C. It's really simple. So from E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 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 up. So down, 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 up on that C chord. And now this next bit, we're just going to work on the switch from C to B7, because this is probably the most complicated part in the whole song. So we do our down up on C, like we just practiced, and then we switch to B7, and as we switch, we do a miss, which is just missing the strings with an invisible downstroke. So down, up, miss, and switch at the same time. Just try that a few times. Down, up, miss, and switch. So that miss and that switch happen at the same time. And then after that, we're going to do an upstroke on that B7 chord. So that whole part, think about it like 4 motions and practice it a whole bunch. Starting on our C, down, up, miss, up. Again, down, up, miss, up. So that's the toughest part. Make sure you work on that a whole bunch. And then we're going to finish our strumming pattern on the B7 chord. And we can just learn this like we learn any strumming pattern. We're going to divide it into 2 parts. It sounds like this. So the first part is just miss, up, miss, up. That's pretty straightforward. And then the second part is down, down, up, which is also really simple. So just work out each of those halves. So just the B7 part of the strumming pattern, 3 and 4 and miss, up, down, down, up. And now we can put together the entire strumming pattern, starting off on our E minor, nice and slow with the counting, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and switch. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So do that really systematically. Go as far as you can comfortably. Try that a whole bunch, then try to add just the next motion, just the next downstroke or whatever, and then work that out a whole bunch, and then just keep building it up until you can play the entire thing. And when you're ready, we can try this all together, strumming pattern and chords, repeating a few times, and that's the whole song. So when you're ready, I'll count us in nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how you play Havana by Camila Cabello. And this isn't that tough of a song as long as you follow this method. First, we start with the chords and we make sure that our chord switching is nice and clean. So we're just kind of focusing on our chord hand. And then we work out the strumming pattern, going bit by bit, not trying to just do the whole thing. We break it down and make sure that we work especially hard on the hardest parts. The switching from C to B7, for instance, and focusing on the areas where you need the most work, and then just building up that strumming pattern bit by bit until you can do the whole thing, and then trying to repeat it over and over, and at that point you can play the entire song. Don't forget that if you need any extra help, we go over a ton of basics in our beginner rhythm guitar book. It's available on our website for free to all of our subscribers, and if you need any extra help, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments section below. Anyways, I'll see you next time.